So I have had my bed knife and reel professionally sharpened. I live in Brisbane, so I got that done at Brisbane Cylinder Mower Specialists. They're located in Wynnum on the south side. Andrew over there is a great bloke. He's actually showed me how to install and set the reel for the best cut. I'm no professional at this. It's actually the first time I've ever done it, so we'll see how we go. Part of the process of sharpening the reel, the bearings need to be installed, so unfortunately you don't get to see that. However, it's not a hard thing to do. All you do is push on your bearing seal washer, so that actually has a curve on it. Now the curve has to face towards the reel. What that does is the old bearings were not sealed. I've replaced my bearings with new sealed bearings, but basically that just prevented dirt and stuff going into the bearing as you mow. So yeah, first things first, your little foam oiling pad. Now this isn't necessary because I'm using brand new sealed bearings, however I'm still going to install it. So this sits on the end bearing housing against the side frame. The reel sits straight in here. Now, one thing to note, this bearing with the gear mounted on it, so this bearing has to sit hard up against the edge of the bearing housing. You'll see there's a little lip there. So when you install that, just make sure that bearing's sitting hard up against that. It's quite a simple process. Slide it straight in like so. So once we've got the reel in there, we want to put our bearing housing tops back on. This is quite simple. Put it on, tighten up the screws. So it's as simple as that. The reel's now installed. As you can see, it spins freely. It's exactly what we want. Now we want to adjust the reel to sit just so it's touching the top of the bed knife. So as it cuts, you get a perfect cut. So first step for adjusting the reel lower to the bed knife is we want to loosen off all the side bolts. So on the side here, your locking nut, you want to loosen that off so the carriage is free to go up and down. Same on the other side. If you don't loosen these two nuts, as you do this, there's a good chance that your bearing housing will actually crack in half, and then you're pretty well screwed. You need a new one. So first step, we want to spin the reel as we're doing this and just listen. So we want to wind this screw down. As we wind down, the bearing housing lowers and the reel will make contact with the bed knife. We want to just have that so it's just touching, so spinning and adjusting at the same time. Now we can hear that the reel is just touching the bed knife. We want to do the same on the other side. So this edge of the reel is just touching the bed knife. Again, as we spin, we adjust this screw. Now we have both sides just touching the bed knife. We're going to tighten up these nylocks underneath the height adjusting screw. So hold the screw with your screwdriver, 7/16 spanner, and tighten up that nylock. So both nylocks are now tightened. You hear that the reel spins freely, and you can hear it just nicking the top of the bed knife. Now we want to fine tune that. This side to me sounds like it's too tight, this side sounds it's too loose. So we need to adjust the reel like this. Screwdriver and spanner. We want to turn these at the same time, so we want to turn the screwdriver and the nylock underneath at the same time. Now I'm only turning this 1/4 of a turn at a time. That's all you need to do. Rightio, now I've done that, everything here is tight. You can hear that the reel sounds like it's just nicking the top of the bed knife. Best way to test that is to get a super thin bit of paper. Now I just use newspaper. You can buy proper, I think it's Toro make, I don't know what you call it, paper, adjusting paper. Not necessary. Another good one that everyone uses is yellow pages. If you've got a spare yellow pages kicking around, it's really thin paper, works very well. Today I'm just going to use newspaper. So, we tilt the mower back. We can now see the bed knife and the reel. So best way to test this is to get a bit of newspaper. Make sure it's cutting the newspaper cleanly. We want a nice even cut all the way across here, so we have to make sure that it's cutting the paper all the way across the bottom of the bed knife. As you can see, newspaper cuts all the way across the bed knife. The reel spins freely. Doesn't sound like it's too tight. If it was too tight, it would be grabbing, it wouldn't spin freely. So basically that's it. That's how you adjust your reel to your bed knife. Don't forget to tighten your locking nuts. This will hold everything in place so nothing moves. So I've actually played around a bit more off camera, adjusted this even better. That's how free the reel needs to be, and still cut paper across the bed knife.